TGIF, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys, welcome to another edition of Relationship Recap. I am your host, Christal XO, and you guys know we do every Friday. We get together and we recap Family Empire. We recap Love and Marriage Huntsville and anything else that's on our mind. Myself and my co-host tonight is it's pajama night. I decided to join Pajama Mo again. So let me go ahead and get him in the room. What's good, Scorpio Mo?
What's good? What's good? What's good, Christal? What's good, everyone?
Hey, man. Interesting week. Interesting week. This summer, the summer is just about over. I know we're going to talk about, and we have a lot to talk about tonight with Family Empire. I mean, I know we're gonna have to get into Love, Marriage, Huntsville, but Family Empire tonight was a really, really powerful show. But I gotta do an update because we talked about, I don't know if it was Wednesday or last Friday, we talked about Judge Mathis announcing that he was his wife filed for divorce, right? And did you see the clip? TMZ caught Judge Mathis tonight.
I sent it to you, yes.
I loved it. Well, okay, let me not say I loved it. Let me not be that, because I know everybody like, Christal, you fall for anything. What I loved about this, because we, on this platform, we talk a lot about accountability, right? And Judge Mathis, he'd been married, I think 30-something years, 32 years, something like that.
Right.
And he actually said, basically, it was my fault. I'm neglecting my wife, and I'm going to do everything I can to get my wife back. We're in the house. We're not, she hasn't moved out. I still have time. I'm going to work and do everything I can. And now there was a little confusion because he said there wasn't infidelity, but he did kind of start doggy paddling around. I felt a little bit of a doggy paddle.
Yes.
And he said that she would have been right to assume. So that makes me feel like there was something that he just doesn't want to share with the public. But I just love the accountability and the fact that he was like, basically, he wants his wife back. He does not want it to be over. Now I don't know all that he did, but yes. I like the fact that he publicly announced he wants his wife. He wants to save his marriage, and he's going to do the work. I like that.
Of course he does.
He don't want to share that money.
Hey,
you got it working, baby.
Money, just where you at in life. It's all of it, and start all over, and then just simply he loves his wife.
There we go. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be there. He loves his wife.
But before I jump out the window, I gotta say that I need to know what you did, brother. Before you can have any sympathy from me, I don't know what you did.
Well, he said that he said something about traveling all around the world and giving back to the community. I don't know about that. We do know
he could be back to the community. Let's be clear.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This story is unfolding. We'll stay tuned.
But I think that brother, say what he said, and whatever it is, I wish for the best for however it lands.
Yeah, I do too. But I just love to hear accountability is the name of the game.
That's what we kind of have to do.
No, sometimes. Well, that's because y'all be messing up so publicly.
No, because we were raised. Most of us was raised by women, and we had to be accountable for our mothers. We had to tell our mother, "I'm sorry." Some women weren't used to that. Wasn't no daddy in the house, so they had to be accountable to no man.
I like that, DeQueezy. We're gonna make that a hashtag. Black marriages matter. I love that. I love it. What's up, Miss Pretty Amazing? What's up, Linda V, DeQueezy? What's up, Tamasha? The chat is already popping. You guys, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're getting in here quickly because can I just say, you say what?
It's a lot to unpack.
It is a lot to unpack. And I just want to be honest. I've been watching these shows on OWN for quite a while. And I have never watched a show and ended up in tears. And tonight, watching that scene on Family Empire with Bubba and Keisha and the sisters, I ended up in tears myself. So I was like, I am triggered. And I hate that word. but I was triggered, man. That was a lot. That was a lot to unpack. It was really thank you, Dolly. Anybody else was moved tonight? You might not have been moved to tears. I was literally like crying. I
I wasn't. But I did get to see everyone's side a little bit better, even Bubba. I understand everybody's side, not just Bubba's side, everybody's side a little bit better, and they all have an argument. Bubba has the least, but he does have a slight argument.
Well, let's get into all of it. I said I was in tears, and you said you were not. Does that mean that you were not moved, or what does that mean?
Nah, I've been to plenty of those.
Really?
Oh yeah, Thanksgiving, holidays, and believe it or not, I hate to say it, the aunts is always in the middle. Always, it's never two uncles. It's never it's an aunt involved.
Yeah.
Well, all the big arguments. There's always an aunt involved.
I hate that. I'm gonna tell you guys why. I'll be honest. I would tell you guys why I was moved to tears tonight. And like I said, I was triggered, right? And again, I can't even believe I'm saying that, but that's really what happened, because any woman who has grown up feeling rejection from their father would have felt that tonight, right? And that's what I immediately, because it was really him talking, and you could see, oh man, it was so much. So I want to ask you before we get into that, because I don't want to start crying on here. Bubba said that he was trying to take care of his house. Mm-hmm. He said that she was not, that he was not married at the time. What appears to have happened is that he probably was engaged or on his way to marriage, because Nicole and Keisha are months apart. So he knew where his bread was being buttered, right? Mm-hmm. And he was messing around. Now, when he got married, it sounds like they got married pretty early. He said he did not want to mess his family up. Key points tonight was that Keisha was 7 years old before the aunt went and got her and brought her around the family. Mm-hmm. And so, because last week we heard, well, you didn't give him a chance. It was none of your business to go do that. Mm-hmm. Keisha was 7, right? So that's moving on through adolescent years, and no one was, and Bubba did not feel compelled to bring her around his family or to be around her himself, because he was not around her himself. He also mentioned that he was paying child support. Mm-hmm. So he acknowledged it was his child, but he made a decision not to be in her life because he did not want to mess. He wanted to keep peace in his family. And that is what caused me to feel that way, because for a father, and now I want to be clear, that wasn't the situation with my father. My father and mother, that wasn't it. But I knew my dad chose not to, for whatever reason, be a part of my life, right? So hearing a father still at 74 said, I'm 74 years old, you can't tell me nothing. And seemed extremely unapologetic for how things went. My heart broke for Keisha, my heart broke for myself, and any other, people, not just women, but people that's been a part of their upbringing, right? Rejection from a parent is something that is very difficult to get over, because it shapes who you are. And just watching that, and the way that he is rooted and grounded in it, and does not, and at 74, the likelihood of him having an epiphany, or him acknowledging that he was wrong and really getting to the crux of what that is very slim to none. So the point is, he wanted to pay child support. He wanted her to stay over there to keep from messing up his family. And for Keisha to have to hear that was, and you could see how it affected her on her face. It was a lot. So I would love to hear from you. What did you feel? Because you said you understood him a little bit more.
Yeah,
What?
not he was right, but okay, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry.
No, I'm that's I want to give you the floor to kind of explain that, because at that point, I ain't gonna lie, I was not watching it as a person that is doing recaps or reviews on the show. I was transported back to 5-year-old Christal, feeling like her dad did not want her. It was I just it that's and you know, I've gone to therapy and done the work, and I think a lot of us have, because we have to move on with life. But that is something that is I think that's one of the big things that shapes your life, how you are received and welcomed and appreciated and valued and loved by your parents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I personally think the brother, he first of all, I think he was wrong on how he approached everything. This is all his mess.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, it's his mess. He had a household, he had a family, he made a decision.
Uh-huh.
Like we talk about the G1s and G2s, and things have to be, we're skipping over, there's a line, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, there's a line with this man's family. That's your niece, but that's his child.
So you feel like
No, I don't feel, I'm just saying, I kind of get the line where he's like, they're stepping over line. But the bigger, I mean, because that's his. That's not yours. It's yours by
blood.
They're not direct. You know what I mean? And I get it, but if it was the other way around, it's like, yo, this is what I chose to do with my family, right or wrong. And they made a decision to go get theirs. If you made that, then if he don't want that, split the difference and respect his. Don't bring him around, this, that, and the other. If that's what you got to do. Once again, I don't think that's right, but I understand people saying we split the difference if it's their business and their household.
But he did, but they did. I just want to clarify, because the aunt said she did not bring Keisha to his house. She brought her to her house.
Right. But in him trying to keep one thing and then the other, it could all blow up. So he made a decision trying to keep this, and this was going to interfere with that. That man made the decision with his. You know, and like I said, it's not right, but that's not my house neither. And that man made the decision. You can't name that man's child. You can't do. That's his.
The child at the point the child is 7. Lynn Toy, I opened up by saying I ended up, I've never cried during a reality show. Don't ever plan to again, but tonight's episode definitely was heartbreaking for a number of reasons.
And you're talking about somebody that I can halfway relate to this story. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I had a loving situation. I just, you know, if I'm respecting people's boundaries, I'm like, well, this is my niece, and I won't have her around you, and that be that. You know, him and his wife.
I think they did that, but I'm saying, Trina says, Aunt Jackie said their father, Frank Sr., would never agree to disowning children. That's true. However, the fact that he was alive for a long time and Keisha was 7 suggests that, you know, that he wasn't making that move either. I wonder if you feel like it would be different, because at this point, you know, we both have children, and if my daughter or my son was in a situation like that, obviously it couldn't be my daughter, because, you know, the woman has to carry the child. But if my son went and had a baby with a woman and decided he didn't want anything to do with that woman or that baby, and I would, that's my grandchild. Like, I would still feel like I wanted to be in that child's life. And I also feel like, as a parent, we could disagree, but I feel like as a parent, I have a right to say my son is wrong and I'm going to have a relationship if you will allow me to with my grandchild. I would
No,
definitely say that.
that part is right. I'm saying you can't push that on him.
Right, but I don't think she did that. It sounded like
No,
she
no,
just
it bled into his house, and that's what he was
it
trying to.
bled into his house because his wife was upset because when her daughters would go over the aunt's house, they got a chance to see their sister.
Right, and like I said, I just try to. I would still want to see my grandchild. I still want to see whatever, but if they don't want to, I can't make them. Everybody grown at this point, other than the children who was totally innocent. I get mine, but
Well, I don't think that Bubba's wife had anything. I don't think she did anything wrong. Now I want to ask the ladies in the chat because I struggle with myself watching this because it was so much pain around the table. But the person that obviously was hurt the most was Keisha, but it was a lot of pain. You saw how it just basically Bubba's actions have caused pain on the family for decades. But I asked myself, if in my marriage, my husband had an affair and had a baby out of the affair, would I be able to? Because it's interesting because Keisha feels like, Joy is wrong, right? She feels like because she has her mom's back because of course that's all you when you're a child you have your parents back, but she feels like Joy is wrong. And I'm asking myself, like, would I be able to be with a man and embrace the child that he had during an affair on me? And I don't know if I would have been able to do that. And I think a lot of women, I see on social media, a lot of women saying that Joy is wrong and she should have accepted the baby. And I think that sounds great to say, but I want to be honest. I don't know if I would have been able to do that. Like, that is a horrific pain to have to deal with for me. I mean, some people don't care if their spouse cheats. Some people hurt differently. For me, I don't know if I mean to be able to let.
If you were if a situation is like that, how are what if she told him and he's not throwing her under the bus? Because men don't usually do that.
Who?
If Bubba's not throwing his wife under the bus, I don't even know if they together still.
Yeah, they're still together. Their marriage looks broken, but they're still together.
She threatened to leave me if I didn't. You see what I'm saying? He's not saying that part of it.
He's not. He just said, but he did. You could tell they're still together because he still stands up for his wife. He still said she don't have to accept her. That's not her child. He was bold in that statement. That's one of the only passionate things he said.
I mean, it sounds harsh, but you see what I'm saying? You can leave. It's decisions. It sounds rough and cold. We all got decisions. She decided to stay, and he decided to do what he did.
But he said that my wife doesn't have to accept her. That's not her child. So he basically decided to stay in his marriage, to get married, because it sounds like we don't know the exact dynamic, but it sounds like he got married, right after that happened, or maybe they were engaged, because for the girls to be months apart and him to be with Joy, it's obvious that he was planning a future with her, because it doesn't seem like he was conflicted. It sounded like he knew exactly what he wanted to do.
That's what it sounded like to me.
So I'm just saying, I'm being honest, like because I'm being 100% transparent. I understand. I'm good, thanks, says Christal, after you've been in that situation, feeling how you feel about your dad, and you still don't think you could do it. I don't, because I think that's two different things. I think as the child being rejected by my dad, and my dad, but then I would want to, but I just think that would be really difficult. Like,
think you could treat the child fair?
Pardon?
Treat the child fair. Because even if you,
I would never. I mean, I would never treat a child bad, right? In my house, but I could see myself saying, I just can't. I can't.
because God forbid, I don't know when this young lady's mother passed away, but let's say it was a situation where she passed away early on, and when she couldn't take care of herself,
like in Fences.
And I didn't see Fences, and she,
well, you should. Everybody should. It's a wonderful movie.
Child, and child has to. The state don't take her. You know, he has to go. She goes with the father, and then it's like, could you treat that child fair?
First of all, like I said, I would never treat a child bad.
Right. No, I don't think bad, but fair.
I don't know. Could I treat his child by another woman like I treat my children?
There you go.
No, I probably would just need to leave. For me, because I really thought about that, and I was like, ooh, the chat is not gonna like me because I'm gonna just be honest. I don't think I could do it because I don't think men understand how it feels to a woman to know that your man has betrayed you like that. And for me to have to look at that child and him to treat the child like I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I would have to get a divorce. Because that's just too much pain to walk around in. Because what happens is the woman, like for instance, in Fences, which I suggest we all watch and talk about next week. But in Fences, Denzel's character has a child during an affair where he's cheating on his wife. The woman dies and he brings the baby home and the wife takes care of it. And we know that happened a lot in older days, you know, where the mother would not be able to when the child. I cried watching Fences too, but I also was happy watching Fences. But it was hard. That was hard. That movie was real. Say it again.
And cry like she did, though, right?
I did not.
Okay, cool.
I did not.
I tried not to.
I was watching that scene the other day, and I was just like, I would just wish that she would have just did a cut. And I know they couldn't cut because it was a good take, but it's hard. It's hard to watch. But I don't think I could do it. I think I would have to divorce the man.
And I say that is because I lived in a situation where I was nobody's child, and I know how I was treated, and didn't really fully understand it until I got older. And I was like, then realized the level of a lot of stuff until I got older and looked back at it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But you feel something though. You feel something.
Yeah.
So your treatment is different, and that's why
that's why I said I would just want to do the right thing, and I think to let go of the hurt. And I'll tell you why. I feel like if I left, I would hurt, but then I would get over it, and I would be able to go on with my life.
But you're hurt staying in.
But if I stayed in, and I am looking at this child every day, I will never be able to let go and move on from that affair.
Yeah, that'll be.
I would be constantly reminded. And it's funny because, you know, men get angry if they cheat on a woman and she doesn't get over it within a couple of days. It was 2 weeks ago. It was 2 months ago. It was 4 months ago. I get over it. It was a year ago. But if the kid is living, I got to constantly look at the child. And I think, to your point, Tina, Joy is still in pain over that. You can see it in her face. You can see it when she sat down and talked to Nicole. She's still in pain.
Yeah.
You cannot. This is my PSA to any women out there dealing with that. I feel like you need to leave because I feel like you deserve. There's a reason why infidelity is the sin that God will allow you to divorce for, because you can't move forward if you constantly have to live in the pain. And the right thing to do is either to leave or to treat or not to take it out on the child, because it's not the child's fault. The child is innocent. Yeah. However, the child is also a blatant reminder of the fact that your husband did not give a damn about you. And I don't think I can't do it.
Damn it, man.
I could not do it. I feel for Joy. And I don't understand women that are so cold towards the wife that gets cheated on. But then
Who's cold?
maybe because a lot of women are like, she should have got over it. If she was going to stay with him, that was on her. She chose to stay. But y'all know how hard that is when someone breaks your heart and you still love them. And your choice is either leave or stay, and you don't want to stay because you still love the person. It's not easy. It's not easy at all to make that choice. So I wish more people had empathy for everybody involved, outside of Bubba. Because I mean, he did it, and so you have to figure it out. Like, to me, the only person that really could, and it's not like, how could Bubba hurt Joy, Bubba hurt Keisha, Bubba hurt Keisha's mama, Bubba hurt Nicole and Monet. Like, that's all on him. And the women are sitting trying to fix it. And that's unfortunate. Like, even with, I know people are saying Kirk and Rashida. I don't know what the hell that is. That's some other stuff. Because here we go with this ridiculous show, and the girl is saying that he's still trying to holler at her. Like, you can't get past that pain. You can't get past the pain.
So what is it? What, I mean, I guess you can't pick your pain either.
You can't. All you can do.
Or is it hurting more to leave?
Oh, I think you can. I think when you leave, you can heal. If you stay, you can't heal.
All they're saying with her, I don't think it's being missed. That's all they're saying with the mom. You could have left and been healed by now. You stay.
But she didn't make that decision. She made that decision because she loved a man.
And now you're living with it. We all products of our decisions. Like, it's messed up. Just like he got to deal with it. Like, right now,
he's not dealing with it.
Bubba, you can't run. Don't go. You got to stay here. And technically, you're supposed to be cleaning up the mess. The fact that these women are bickering amongst each other over some stuff that happened 40 years ago is messed up. And you should have been jumping in there and saying that to your sister, well, you ain't got no. That's just mean. Like, what is
he's a old crotchety.
Yeah, like,
he has a lot of, but I will say this because I want to be empathetic to everybody. I'm not a man, and a lot of things I don't understand about the way men think. But what I do, I do think, again, going back to the Denzel Washington movie, but in that movie, you saw how he was not able to communicate his feelings, right? And so his actions, drinking every night when he got off work, sleeping with different women, were his way of trying to deal with the fact that he was depressed and he was really disappointed in himself. And he did things to make himself feel more like a man, which was drinking and dealing with. But he had a woman that he had never been able to really do right by, as far as like financially. He was still struggling. He was a sanitation worker, and his life just didn't go the way he wanted. And with Bubba, we don't know what Bubba, we don't know why he chose the decisions that he made, but his demeanor and how cold he was and stubborn, and just, it speaks to the fact that he has to be unhappy inside.
That part. That's a fact.
He has to know that entire room of broken, hurt women was his doing.
Yeah, and unfortunately, man, I don't know what his dad instilled with him. I don't know if his sisters babied him, but whatever the case may be, but that wasn't man shit at that moment. Once you hit and you know it's over something you did, you supposed to stand up. Man, I don't know. To see a grown man do that and not do nothing and just be like, well,
he said, I'm 74 years old. You can't tell me nothing, to his daughter. And you didn't see any empathy for her in his face at all. It was heartbreaking. And I would say, to the child and even to myself, like, you know, if you don't have a parent that does value you, for me, I had to learn that my dad didn't value himself. You know, my dad was a drug addict, for people that may not know. My dad, I ended up learning, I didn't know then, I just thought he didn't like me. But later I learned that he died from a drug overdose. So obviously he was not happy. You know, obviously there was a lot of things in him um that probably were toxic and broken as well. And he would always say to me, don't waste your time calling me, you know. And so he obviously didn't feel good about himself. So I learned that, you know, and it still hurts, but I learned that my dad, it wasn't that he made a choice to dislike me. He wasn't able to deal with the dislike he had for himself. And I think that a lot of times when men make decisions, or women, but in this case we're talking about a man, he has to know that he's wrong. He has to know that what he did broke this young woman who did nothing but be a product of him and this woman, her mom, you know, sleeping together. So he has to know that, and that has to make him feel bad. And who knows how he deals with those demons, you know what I mean? So a lot of times men, specifically from that time period, are not going to show their heart. They're not going to allow their true feelings to show. They may not even be in touch with them. But it was really sad to watch. And you know, I don't know if I want to say good job to the producers, because that really is not something that should be shared with the country. But because so many of us have dealt with situations like that, maybe it was helpful for other people to have conversations like the one that we're having tonight.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a real, I mean, obviously it's a real thing. You know, the communication, I don't know if he doesn't seem like a big communicator.
No, he doesn't.
You don't know what he's feeling inside. And I'm not making any excuses for him, because I still think, even so, you need to step up, and you didn't. And this is the result of that. And they'll figure it out around him. And he probably needs just as much counseling as she needs.
Well, I think he does, but I also feel like, I mean, my mom is 74. I think at a certain age, like, you know, my mom was an amazing mom, but there are certain things that I kind of wish sometimes that she would have been open to therapy. But I also think that generation, like at this point, I just want her to be happy and live out the rest of her days, right? I don't want her, I mean, I think the mindset is when you've been doing something for 70 years, that's a lot to say, well, he needs to go to counseling. I don't know if counseling would work for Bubba. Bubba is stuck. And
He might
I
want peace. We don't, that man said he might really want peace and don't know how to get it.
He probably does, but I don't know if he would be able to receive it from counseling.
Not from a woman anyway. You gotta talk to a man first.
But if he gonna say I'm 74 years old, well, you can't tell me nothing, I don't know.
Not like that, but men open up to men a little bit different, and you know, I don't know. But
I do want to say, I want to talk a little bit about the dynamic of the G2s, because I like the fact that Nicole stood up for Keisha, but I also realized Nicole doesn't necessarily have a dog in the fight, right? So she doesn't have the pain that her mother has from her dad cheating. And she also doesn't have Keisha's pain of being the child that was on the other side. Keisha said something that again made me so sad for her. She said, sometimes I wish I never met them and everything had just left well enough alone, you know, because I think this caused her to, sometimes you don't know what you don't have until you're introduced to it, you know. And if she had never been introduced to the family, she may not have felt as rejected as she did, because a part of her rejection was seeing the way Bubba was in the house with Monet and Nicole.
that's what some people, that's the part that he's trying to say. I believe the mother was trying to say, is like, y'all stirring this pot, but y'all don't have to directly deal with it. Y'all stirring the pot for me and her have to deal with. I'd have to deal with. We didn't want to. And that was our choice. That's your niece, but that's my child. I got first right. You can't put that on me if I didn't want that and I made a decision. And I'm not saying it's the right decision, but they made a decision. Look, we're talking about this 40-something years later. And he didn't stir the pot. People from the outside did.
Yeah, but I mean, I just like I said, we disagree on that because he was gonna like. First of all, they live in a town, and if they didn't, even if the aunt didn't go get Keisha, she would have found out at some age. Those are my sisters. That's the same age as me. She would have found out, and she could have found out through a more hurtful way. There's just no way for that to have ended good. And if you're going to have a child, raise that child in the same city as your family, that's wild. That's wild. Like 7 years old, you're not going to find out. You go to middle school, and when them kids say, "Well, I heard that your daddy is they daddy," you know what I mean? Like,
I'm devil's advocate. That's their own time. I can't tell them what to do with it. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's possibly how they feel.
It is obviously because he was just like, as long as he paid child support, he was cool. But I do understand when the Nicole and Monet were yelling at the aunt, and Jermisha was like, "Wait a minute, don't talk to my mom like that." You know, I was like, man, I've been in situations like that in a family because every child, I could care less about anything but my mom, you know, and my granny. My granny's funeral, there was some stuff going on, and I'm never disrespectful unless somebody messes with Jackie Jordan. Then I'm like, you know, and my daughter is the same way with me. So I saw that, and that was hurtful. But I understand that Monique and Nicole are standing up for their mom. Jermisha is standing up for her mom. Like, it's just everybody's perspective is totally different, and everybody's perspective is valid. But I do think Nicole and Monet and Jermisha can't really speak to the situation. They can have love for Keisha, but they're the children. You know what I mean? Like, you still can't.
That's what I'm saying. The children, the aunt, they not the parents. So even the aunts can only speak to it for a certain thing. The only people that can really speak strong are the parents, and one of them ain't here. And the child. That's it.
The sad thing is that Keisha's mother has passed, and she said in that car, she was like, "I wish I could just go to my mom." You know, I was talking to someone about this, you know, during the show, because I was like, I can't take this. This is a lot. But, you know, we don't know what Keisha's mom told her about the relationship with Bubba. There's two parts. First, Bubba could have been telling her mom something different in order to get what he wanted to get from her.
Very true. Happens
but also, I know situations where the mother, the mistress, tells the child a different story because she does not want to. Nobody wants to tell their child, "Your dad really didn't want me. We were just having sex." No one wants to tell their child that. So I have seen women turn the story around. "He was in love with me. He wanted to be with me." Ma'am, he was married. How could he do what?
You know how many times that's happening every day right now? And man, it's a lot of people out there y'all don't point and y'all don't know the story. I'm telling you. Man, if y'all heard some of the real stories, you'd be shocked at some of the people you knew. You'd be like, what?
So yeah, but Tamasha, even though he was dating both at the same time, it's pretty clear that the family was already locked in with Joy. It's pretty clear that he was preparing a future with Joy. So it's hard to believe that Keisha's mom did not know that. It's probably hard to believe that Joy did not know that Keisha's mom existed as well. But we can't act like because it's very clear the way he defends her, the way the family already was locked in with her. It's very clear that he and Joy were on the path towards. And also what's a big part with their family is like the grandmother and the grandfather set an example. So he was going to get married and stay with that woman regardless, just like he did. He was going to do what he was going to do.
That's fair.
But he was going to get with that woman and stay with her. So I'm sure he was lying to everybody, but I'm not, but we don't know. I'm just saying we have to take into consideration that the other woman could have known that he was over here and he was locked in, even if they were living together. If he and Joy were living together, they still weren't married. That woman knew that that man's future was not with her.
This is why titles, y'all. Y'all talking about, well, we ain't together until we're married. You see what happens, don't you? Get together, people. Call it a title and get some responsibility. Now you can hold them accountable with a title. See how that works?
But see, if a man is if a man has proposed to you and you guys are working on a future and then he does something like that, it can be hurtful as well, right? So
but now
Bubba
can't use that excuse. Well, I was single. No,
you weren't single, sir. He was not single. He was not single because it's clear the way he does it. And even if he said it's just clear. So we don't know. I'm just saying, I know situations where the other woman is telling the child something different for the child's sake, because they don't want their child to think that they were just a side piece. Nobody wants to tell their child that. That's hurtful because the child is going to interpret that as them. That's the thing that people don't get. If you have to tell your child, I had you because your daddy was sneaking around on his wife, and your dad told me he wasn't going to leave his wife, but we did this anyway. The child sees themselves through that lens. So I wouldn't want to tell my child that either. If I was the mistress, I would want to tell my child you were born out of love. Even if that was a lie.
That's gotta be, I can't imagine that. Yeah, that's tough.
Nobody should tell. No child deserves to have to hear your dad never loved me. We were just sleeping around. Like, that's crazy.
It's crazy, but it happened.
But no, but true a lot of times.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
But they'll go up thinking my dad wasn't in he wasn't supposed to be because that wasn't his job. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying? That kind of situation. That's tough, man.
Sounds like the Confessions album from Usher back in. He like what did he say? The girl. He was in love with the girl, and the side chick is pregnant, and now he don't know what to do, and the girl is like, I don't want like.
Yeah. Which was Jermaine Dupri's life.
It was Jermaine Dupri's life.
It looked just like him.
She does.
Just a darker version, but she does.
It's funny because Usher recorded her dancing like Sierra, and he posted out. She's adorable, but I'm just saying that to Keisha's mom's point, even if she did not tell her the truth, she could have done that out of love for her daughter.
That's fair. I can see that. I could very well see that.
And what do we learn? What are our takeaways?
Damn it, man.
What are our takeaways from
Don't get with a bubble, ladies.
What?
Don't get with a bubble.
I mean, but Bubba ain't a Bubba till it's bubbing. You know, I mean, like, you don't know. I
man, it really is, man. And you could tell that family just hate that, man.
We're not saying he didn't love. We're saying we don't know. We don't know how he felt about her. But what we do know is that he wasn't locked in because of the way he acted afterwards, and the fact that he told her, "I'm gonna pay child support, but I don't want anything to do with that child." That lets us know the way the man handles the situation with the woman shows how he felt about her.
That part.
I hate it, but it's true. The fact that he said, I don't want anything to do with this child, but I will pay you child support, means he was not connected to that woman. Because if it's a woman that he loved, he wouldn't have done it like that.
Not like that. No, nope. That's a fact. That was a great point. Great point.
That's hurtful, but it's true. So I think, what's your takeaway out of this? This was heavy. What was your takeaway out of all this?
Family, man. I just think I like Nicole. I like two people on both of these things who I wasn't necessarily feeling before. I like how Nicole stepped up. Obviously this family is going to pull through it, but my takeaway overall is that I love the prayer at the end, and I hope people are really opening themselves up.
They were struggling like, Lord, we need you now. Come on now, Lord, deliver us, help us. Help us.
Get there, don't rush them. I know y'all need them right now because y'all want no more fighting. But time, man, and time, 40 years, and we're still dealing with this. What does that say?
Well, that says that pain.
No, for her, and that's the biggest victim of this all. And she was ready to fight everybody in that kitchen.
She said, "Shut the F up." And I was like, I'm sure the Brandons don't really talk like that to their elders, but I guess ain't nobody gonna check her because she's, we gonna give her a pass. We gonna give her a pass.
Thank you, man. I just hope the guys out there take away and see the damage it causes. And once you see that, if you don't step up no other time, man.
Somebody said Brandon favors my husband. No.
Who?
Oh, Brandon on Detroit. Brandon on Love and Marriage Detroit. He does. I thought you were talking about one of the husbands on Family Empire. But yeah, Brandon on Love and Marriage Detroit does look like he could be Adrian's brother. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. What was your, because this touched you more than it did for me. What was your takeaway from it?
And, like I said, I wrestled with the fact of what I would have done. Thankfully, that's not an issue for me because I'm at this age and Adrian has a vasectomy. So there won't be any babies popping up out of the blue. But I just, what my takeaway is sometimes putting myself in two people's places. Number one, I'll say Joy. I think sometimes you have to do what hurts really bad today so that you can heal tomorrow. Now, I don't know how their marriage has been since that happened, but what I can see in the fact that Bubba is still so stuck and seems very insensitive to Keisha, and Joy is still so hurt, I've got to assume that there's been a lot of pain over the 30 years. I would love to hear her perspective if she felt like it was worth it. But for me, my takeaway is, if I have to hurt really bad today in order to be peaceful and happy tomorrow, I need to do that for myself. And I think that people, period, we all need to make sure. It can be so easy when you're in love with somebody to put them first and your relationship over yourself. But I think this proved to me that you always need to put yourself first.
It's harder when it's happening to you.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, that's something I would tell my daughter. That's something I'm telling myself. Like, you can love somebody, but you got, and because heartbreak is feels like the most horrible thing in the world. It feels like physical pain, but you got to know that time does heal if you allow yourself to heal. But time also can be a prison if you don't make the right decision. Tamasha brings up a good point that she was also pregnant. Man, dealing with that, being pregnant, I wouldn't wish that on anybody, to be pregnant and know that your husband has, or your intended has another woman pregnant at the same time, and you have to break things off with him and have that baby by yourself. Woo!
Do we know he knew that at the time?
I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know.
Okay.
But we know they were pregnant at the same time.
Now, I did see that in the hood at least twice.
My second takeaway is something I've already dealt with, right? Because, it's for it, putting myself in Keisha's position. My dad died before I had a chance to tell him how much his rejection impacted my life. He died from a drug overdose when I was 26 years old. So, and I felt like I was robbed of that opportunity to ever win him over and make him a part of my life. And also, to tell him what that impact was. Ooh, DeQueasy, I did not know that. I'm so sorry to hear that.
You were open to it.
I just wanted my dad to love me. At any point, I would see what happens is I just wanted him to love me. Now, if he had decided, Christal, I love you, I want a relationship, then I would have been like, why'd you do this to me? Right? I didn't have a chance to be mad at my dad because he never gave me the opportunity. But I had to learn how to find, and I think that's an ongoing process for most of us, but I had to learn how to be that to myself and to validate myself. And that's something that took a really long time. I still, am working on that now, but because there's nothing that can replace a father's love, right? Nothing. So but I do think with God's help, because God is our ultimate father. We can feel that love. We can feel worthy, and you have to learn how to find it for yourself, but it's not an easy process. And so I would say to Keisha, or women in that place, that our heavenly father is the one that loves all of us unconditionally. Some people have fathers in the house and the father still doesn't love them the right way, right? So you really have to learn how to heal and love on yourself. And I think, because we're, stop looking at yourself through the lens of rejection. And that's a process, man. That's a journey for real. And then I would just say to the women that are like Nicole and Monet, that are lucky enough to have a father in their life, like, appreciate that. To have a mother in their life, like, when you have whoever you have in your life, man, appreciate them, because you would be surprised how much that presence, affects you, and how much that presence has shaped who you are. So, I'm extremely and ultimately and with every bit of myself thankful that I had a mom that loved me to death, because if I didn't have her, I don't know what that would have been like. But appreciate the people that love you, but know that the ones that do not dictate nor define who you are. That's my takeaways.
Very, very true. And to my, like, I've actually had the opportunity to have that conversation with someone. So
did it go the way you expected?
I never expected it.
Okay.
But when it happened, I felt like it was real, and they were really apologetic, and it gave me some sort of closure. I forgave after that. I didn't know what to do. I just left it alone and moved on. But I could see it bothered them when they saw me, and I was living in Atlanta, and I came home to visit, and we had a conversation. It was, the cry was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I probably only cried like that, like twice. You know what I mean? And one for my daughter, one for my mother. It was like, but to that, and I felt it. I felt them. That's the best way I can say. I felt them. It couldn't change anything.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at the stuff around and what I was told and what I knew, or it's just like it wasn't worth it no more. And I was like, forgiving people, that's a big thing. Like, it takes, like, to forgive, and it helps everybody. The person doing it, the person truly receiving it when it's truly done, and you feel it, and this person meant, because it was nothing they could do at that point.
At that point, it's done.
You know what I mean? But they wanted to forgive, and I felt like damn, y'all must hate me.
Because I know
I forgave, and that was it. I don't want to get too, yeah. Yeah.
Is this person still here?
Nah, it's my mother. Nah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was your mom or your dad because I know you had a conversation with your dad as well.
Yeah. And I forgave, and that was into that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, it just proves that like all of us have stuff, right? All of us have stuff, and usually the way we treat other people, the way we look for a relationship, what we look for in a partner, all that is because of what we've been through, man. All of it is because of what we've been through. Keisha, I please don't come after me, LBC, but I wonder if Keisha had a more positive relationship with the father, would she be in the relationship that she is? We don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Please don't attack me, LBC. But I'm just saying.
I think, but just growing up, I think she would have made a connection. Like she was saying, she was playing basketball. He played basketball. That would have meant the world to her.
She said that. Yep.
And you can see that, like, especially when you have a parent that does something and you kind of like pick that up.
Yeah, you feel people want to feel connected, man. I remember learning because I did talk to my grandfather, right? And I've always been a creative, always been a writer, and from the time I was really small. So to hear that my grandfather was a musician that played with like Duke Ellington and had a print company and would write. And when I learned that, I was in my 20s and I was just like, I think right around the time before my dad died, what I mean? I was like, wow, so that's who I am. That's where I get that from. It's connection. Like, and when you don't, that's why when you look at the family empire, you see the rest of the family and the legacy. It's not the money. It's the fact that this is who you are. Family defines you. You know what I mean? So when it's taken away from you, it's hard to be out here trying to figure out on your own, real quick before we get into Love and Marriage Huntsville, because then we can dry our tears and get into some stuff. Because I felt no tears, but disgust. I felt extreme disgust for that show. But it's not money, right? That to me, the best thing about the family empire is not money. It's the fact they have that. So many of us don't have generations around us like that, right? So when you see, I feel like Jermisha is really trying to do what she wants to do. She says it's for the legacy of her family, but I kind of feel like it's her opportunity to come out from under the shadow of Nicole and to have something that belongs to her and to have something that she brought. Because she's like, you could tell like in this presentation, first of all, that was a great lesson for people in real estate that are constantly screaming that, oh, you can make so much money, but to see the difference and to see the fact that they could do all that and sell and still may not make, a lot of money afterwards, at least not enough to make it make sense, was really important. But then seeing like the way she's presenting it, and then hearing that she like, well, I'm the broker and she wants to score one for herself. Absolutely. And I don't think that she's looking at it from the perspective, and maybe she doesn't even realize it. Maybe she's so caught up in thinking that this is it, that she's not realizing that ain't what the rest of everybody wants to do.
I mean, she's straight business person, but I think she's just, I hate the jump. Like, you got to give the G1s, like, do they got that time? Let people enjoy their money, how they want to enjoy it. They're investing.
You saw them ask Oscarine, does she want to rent or she said she wants to sell.
Yeah.
Let that woman.
They want to see them enjoy it while she's here.
Yeah, exactly. It could be more even for her because she wants to be able to say she did it for her children. At this point, I think Jermisha is out of order.
Thank you. Yes, I do too.
I think she's out of order. I think they all tried to be Granny's favorite, which that's what kids do. I try to do it too. I think I was, because I was the first, but I'm just saying. But yeah, I think that, like, it seems the conversation was all about finances, finding money, and we're gonna make this much money and this. But and then when the guy came in and was explaining to him, he was like, "And what better way to explain legacy than heritage?" I was like, "Nah, this sounds like another one of them cookie cutter subdivisions, and you're trying to sell them a dream, and it's really not that. Like, if you were gonna name it Oscarine and whatever the granddaddy's name was, but now this is another already, like, parceled out and cookie cutter subdivision. I don't like it.
Nah, I don't like it. I don't think Nicole is slick though. I see what she's doing.
Yeah, she is.
She's slick. She's slick.
But Jamisha's slick too, because she's making this seem like it's and like I said, I think she may even believe that. She may even believe that for herself, that she's doing what she feels like is in the best interest of the family. But when I saw her come in there and make that presentation, I said, "Oh, this is about Jamisha. This is about Jamisha being the one to bring it to the table, make the presentation without
You've been saying that.
Huh?
You've been saying that for like the last 2-3 weeks, yeah.
But now I see this not even about. Before I thought it was about her and the other G2s, but it's not. It's about her, and the fact that, like I said, Nicole is the queen said Nicole playing the ends against the middle all day, every day.
Yeah.
In the words of Cat Williams, all day, every day.
It's her decision. She's gonna do what she want to do. Yeah, whatever you present for her, you think that, you know what I'm saying? Like you pushing your little thing too. I see.
Yeah. But I thought that was interesting. The next week is the finale. So we're gonna see what happens. Obviously, the family's not gonna be able to wrap all that pain up in that situation. But more people have said that, reality TV has been therapeutic for them. And I'm sure this family probably would never have gotten to unearth all that pain if not for this show.
Gotcha.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's move ahead. Let's move ahead to Love and Marriage Huntsville.
Yes.
Like I said, as emotional as I was watching Family Empire, all my emotions dried up as I watched the petty lameness going on Love and Marriage Huntsville. The lameness, and I want to say this, like, I want to hear from the ladies in the chat. I didn't grow up with sisters, right? I was the oldest grandchild by far. So I had a little brother, but I didn't have a lot. So I don't really understand, like, the dumbass games that the women be playing with each other on the show. Like, it's wild to me. And I don't really, like, have girlfriends that do that kind of stuff. When I encounter that type of pettiness, I slide to the left immediately, which is why I don't really have a lot of really close. I have girlfriends, but I don't have girlfriends that do that kind of stuff, because I don't have the patience for that. So I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
It reminded me, I had a job where I worked with a lot of women.
Yeah, I bet you did.
And the job. It was 80% women, and this reminded me of that, and I was like, yeah, because the idea of it as a man, it's like a bunch all this what man, the pettiness, the bickering over nothing, and this proves that men are simpler. You've never heard this behavior on a man trip. I don't care if it's for a weekend. I don't care. The amount of pettiness and dumb stuff you complain about, and you feel like you got to voice your opinion on the dumb stuff. Men would have took whatever headquarters. We don't care. We don't really live here. Like, just it made me feel like, you know what? I don't even want to be around a bunch of them like that.
Me too. And I'm a woman and I'm a girl's girl. Let me tell you something. First of all, it's a few things. All right. Two things, 2, 3, 4, and 5 things can be true. Melody knew exactly what she was doing.
You did. I kind of stuck. I like Melody on this. I stuck up for Melody on this one. Was I wrong?
You don't think that Melody knew those rooms were ridiculous?
Where else were they going to go? Outside, there were no rooms left.
So you have not been into reality TV very long, but there is so you're right. Lynn Toy said earlier that this show is more like the Housewives. Every time the housewives go out of town, there's always a place they're staying, and they always end up putting the people that they don't like in bad rooms. It's just a part of what reality TV chicks do.
Somebody got to get them.
It's stupid, and it's stupid, and it's petty, and it's dumb. It's stupid, and it's petty, and it's stupid, and it's petty, and it's stupid, and it's petty. But so she knew what she was doing, right? Because she invited her friends. She also invited friends that had no problem saying the stuff that she don't want to say. And also,
I think y'all reading into it a little more.
Keisha and Kimmy were ridiculous as well. But the most ridiculous out of everybody was Nell.
That lady right there, Nell.
And I have been thinking, you know what, you guys remember when we did the interview? I did the interview and I was like, well, I don't think she said anything bad. Now I realize that Nell was probably playing in my face because Nell is problematic. I feel like out of everybody tonight, she was the problem. First of all, but Melody also knows what she's doing by calling her Miss Nell.
What is she doing?
Why is she calling her Miss Nell?
She's respect.
She ain't that much older than for them to call her Miss Nell.
You sure act like it. That's number one. Number two, what is T.I.'s Tiny's old friend name?
Shekinah?
She acted that it sounds just like her. This is an older version. Yes, I was trying to remember where that voice came from, and I was like, they got the same voice, they got the same little body, and they are exactly the same.
I was disgusted with Miss Nell tonight.
I was too.
I was disgusted. She was the worst.
I ain't get a name tag.
And was dead serious. And then, but I think, and I wondered, I'm like, is Nell trying to compensate for the fact that she knows she's the oldest? So she's supposed to be, she's trying to like make sure she stays in and stays sassy. I don't know, but it was stupid as heck. It was so stupid. She was upset over a name tag. Girl, somebody, well, you know, I like to keep those things.
And she kept it.
I don't care where. I am on the beach. I am going to put my bags down on any bed that I'm in, and it's only for a couple of days. And guess what? If I don't like it, I will do what Giselle and Robin did and go find my own and go get my own hotel.
It was
fair.
Oh my! I don't like people that complain about free stuff. Sit your ass.
I was like, girl, who cares if the name is on the bed or not? And then trying to say, I know you'll fix it. I know you better go in there and put your bags down. She wanted to feel important. Well, she don't need to be on the show. If you that touchy, well, maybe that's what they want. I was just irritated with everybody on the show. Why was Tisha acting like, first, Tisha was irritating me because if you know that Mel doesn't like you, who cares? Who cares? Have fun. Ignore. The best thing you can do to somebody that don't like you is pay them dust. Pay them the dust, which Mel is doing. Mel is like, I'm bringing my friends because I know I really don't mess with y'all like that. And I'm going to be super sweet. And it's cool. She's just letting them know you're not going to get me. Tisha's out here pouting. I was surprised that Kimmy was upset. I was surprised that Kimmy was that, but when Nell was like, well, y'all gonna have to suck it up, I was like, yo, Nell is doing the most. Nell is doing the most.
Right,
now, Keisha, Keisha, I want her to stop caring and stop getting offended. First of all, if Nell's nipple was showing, I'd have left it out there for the cameras to see.
I would agree. Yes.
I'm not trying to help you. You trying to be a smart ass. Hey, lady, where are the what? I don't know what you're talking about, baby. I don't know. My husband just coming with random questions. I don't know. Tisha, it was ridiculous. People keep saying Kimmy and Nell are the same age. I need somebody to let me know if that's true or not. If that's true, then
now when she got the braids, she don't look like it. When they cut to the other shot when she was talking and the commentary or whatever, confession or whatever that was, she did look like it.
Which one is that?
When Kimmy had the braids like on the trip, she didn't look the same age. But when they be showing her like the side thing, how they be showing Mel with the superhero outfit, whatever the fuck she got on. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Thing when they were talking, like explaining what happened in the scene. She looked older there. Yes, she does look like they could be with school together. Yes.
I'm trying to look for her age.
A certain size she do, certain size she look young. At work, I didn't even know it was the same woman before when we was first watching it.
You did say that. You did say that. I can't find y'all. I'm looking for some clarity on the age with her and Kimmy. But regardless, if that's the case, then we don't need to call her Miss Nell. But it's cool. I would not. I could care. Am I wrong? Because I don't care about none of that.
No, you're not wrong. That's the thing. Like, this is petty.
Are they doing this for the TV?
Huh?
Are they doing that because they want to stay on the show? Kimmy is not 54.
They said Nell
Kimmy is not 54. I know that for sure. Kimmy is not 54.
Somebody 55 was out of can.
Kimmy is not 54. Hold on.
35 might be pushing it now.
I don't think she's 35 either, but she's not 50. Hold on. I'm about to let me do some research.
But
I'm about to call somebody.
Out of pettiness over accommodations when you got there late, it's crazy.
Well, they didn't get there late. They did it on purpose. Hey, I'm on my live and I have a question. Do you know how old Kimmy is? Is she? I thought she was in her 40s.
No, she looked up. I look about right.
Okay.
They saying she in the early 50s, y'all.
Yeah, that's why I called you, because I was like, I know you worked with them on the first season and the ages. So
that's about right. That's what I figured. She in the early 50s, y'all.
Early 50s. Okay.
But here's the thing, man.
Because I heard she had it removed from online. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to call you in the middle of the live. Let me get back to live. Now she put it live. That's hilarious. So okay, all right, Miss Pretty Amazing. I need to apologize. She's in her early. I didn't think she was 54, but I remember when I interviewed them, because I've interviewed them every season. I believe she was in her like early 40s, but I stand corrected, Miss Pretty Amazing. I know she's not 35. That's ridiculous.
Early 50s sound about right.
Early 50s. Okay. And then and Nell is in her late 50s. 53.
And as well.
But why are people calling her Miss Nell though?
Because maybe how long we still
Melody has got to be near 40 at least.
Well, she's supposed to call her Miss Nelda. I mean Miss Nelda, if that's the case.
So somebody in their 40s should call somebody in their 50s.
Well, maybe not by the age, but
I got a friend that is 57. I did not call her Miss such and such.
Does she look with?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what she looks like. No, Nell is 60. Thank you, Sap. Nell is 60, and Kimmy is.
There you have it.
But I don't know any girls that go out on a girls trip and you calling somebody Miss such and such.
You can have your mother can have a young friend. You still gotta call her Miss whatever her first name is.
But that's your mother's friend, not
But
your girlfriend.
I come from, you have to address all your mother people. I don't care how young a friend.
Nell is not Melody's mother's friend. That's not the same, sir.
How she know her though?
I mean,
friends.
They're not the mother's friend. It's not.
No. What I'm saying is, she know her through business. She know her through, and they got cool. They damn.
Don't call her Miss. I call somebody Miss if they're old enough to be my parent.
No, well, here's the thing. I started calling women Miss recently just because y'all like to say sir, and y'all be trying to be funny. So
first of all, Mo, the reason that people are calling you sir now is because you are the age of a sir.
Hey, sir, I just hear them say, "Well, sir, can you get out?" And they trying to be funny. So I be funny now and be like, "Excuse." Remember, I told you, I told the girl she dropped $20 in the CVS, and I was like, "Ma'am, you dropped it." She was like, "I ain't no ma'am."
Trust me, young girls look at you and think, "A sir, it's a sir."
I'm saying, lady, Miss Lady.
I hate Miss Lady, but okay. So even if she did call her Miss Nell from the beginning, it does
amazing.
It does feel like it's a little shade, but it's not. I would just roll with it. So what? Call me Miss Christal, and what? But as long as I got a bed to sleep in. But the fact that she was acting like a kid, like a spoiled brat over a name tag on a bed was ridiculous. And then the fact that she got so upset with Tisha saying your nipple was out and act like she was getting ready to fight. Like, now I want to call her Miss Nell. If you don't go in there now, Miss Nell.
Funny. With the whole, I can't wait to bump into one of your friends. I'm gonna call him Miss.
Uncle Mo, it does come, because I remember when we were in our 30s, men in their late 40s and 50s, we would call, I'm not going to hang out with the uncles. You go hang out with the uncles. Now I'm the age of a person. I'm an auntie. So, I mean, I remember I did not want to be around the uncles when I was young.
Has somebody called you auntie yet?
Yeah, they have. It took me aback, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. I was interviewing some guys. So I was interviewing some young comics, and they were like, Auntie said, I was like, oh.
What consists of, like, how do you get the auntie status when you don't know nobody? How do they know?
I don't know. I guess they could look at me and tell. I mean, it's humbling, but you got to just, you know.
I think that's messed up. I would never call nobody auntie.
They did. They called me auntie, and they were comedians, so I had to laugh. But I was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, my son's friends do not call me Ma. I don't want that, especially since these people are grown at this point. But yeah, so I was irritated by that. I was irritated by Nell the most.
Yes.
I was also irritated by the fact that Tisha keeps like crying over every little thing. Well, Mel, it just shows how she feels about you. So what? So what? She don't like you. You don't like her. We know that. You want her to like you, but you don't like her. That's stupid. Leave it alone. Let it go.
That's the
go
part
on the trip.
That's the part I never understood.
You said what?
That's the part I never understood. Like I already learned years ago, women going on a trip more than 3 is a problem. 3 or more, actually.
Now I've had a couple of girl trips with more than 3 that we were fine, but I also am I don't care person. Like, I don't care about much. You know, I just don't understand women like that. Are you okay, sir?
Cool.
You, because you're obviously.
No, I was saying thank you to someone.
Okay.
It says something. I was just saying thank you.
You can say it. You can say it. You don't have to type it. You can say it.
I didn't want to thank you, Lynn V. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Anyway, just the detail shit is just. I just think the rooms are. Somebody got to be in them rooms. Damn it.
You know that if Melody is booking the trip and y'all don't like each other, you're gonna be in the bad room.
Then why did you go?
Why? Well, yeah, it's probably because the show make you. But it's just to sit out on the balcony, pouting is stupid. In the Bahamas, like where they do that at?
Got the water, the sun, like. And this
so
is
Miss Pretty Amazing said, Christal, do you think you look your age? I look in the mirror and don't think I look at my age, but I know other people may think differently. Like I have a 21-year-old son. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and I hate this because I'm struggling. But I feel like what I hate is when people say they know they don't look their age, and I look at them and I think, all right. It's been right. So I do think I look my age because, and it's funny because a few years ago I would always hear you know, but then as you get a little bit older, you stop hearing people be like, "That's your daughter? Oh my God!" I hear it sometimes. I don't hear it as much as I used to. So I think I look my age. I'm doing the best I can, but I mean, life is life. What I will not ever be is that person that's like, I know I don't look my age, and everybody else is like, sis, yes, you do.
When they do this, they be like, guess.
I hate that.
I'm an asshole. I always guess an extra high number because a woman shouldn't tell their age guess. I'm gonna go high now just because. What's your damn age, man? I ain't got time for.
I know it's men and women that do that. I know men that be like, well, I know I don't look my age. Sir, you do.
Huh? Men tell you that? Like, guess
that too.
You supposed to let other people do that. You ain't supposed to like.
And I say thank you, and I mean it. Anytime somebody says, "Oh, I wouldn't have thought that," thank you. But you know what? At the end of the day, it is your age. Like it's not.
Because 9 times 10, your hands look your age. I know that. Even if some of the ladies that I know that be like, see, I don't look my age. Your hands do.
Shut up. Younger guys try to talk to me as well, but younger guys try to talk to everybody. But sometimes younger guys try to talk to you knowing that you're older because they with it. They like it.
All younger guys want to experience an older woman. You want that. You want a couple under your belt.
I know somebody was like, well, why you keep talking to young men? Because they keep hollering at me. And I don't like old men. I like what I have. But yeah, I think that I really would wish people would stop saying, don't put it out there like I'm such and such, but I know I don't look my age because it's kind of like, it's relative to who's looking at you. It's relative to who, what they think or what light they see you in. Or, I mean, some people think it doesn't matter. But yes, I do think I look my age.
Here's the mistake they make. The mistake they make was once they get told that, they feel like they can go down to the younger spot and hang out there.
But sometimes people tell you things because they just want to compliment you and throw you off. They don't really mean it. I've seen men do that to women all the time. And I'll be like, why you tell that girl that? And they just laugh.
Yeah. I mean, but age-wise, or they say it about other stuff about it?
Just making her think that she's more than she is. And then the girl's head is inflated, all inflated. And I'm like, why you do that? Because they want to compliment her to throw her off. And then, but in any case, I wasn't expecting Kimmy to be like that. Sonny telling these ladies that her and Moses are trying to get pregnant.
Stop telling them women. Sonny, why are you doing
this child, bless her heart. And she looks like one of my good friends, kind of. So
I think I know the one you talking about.
Yeah, they do. They look alike, but she don't act like her because but
yeah, they kind of favor.
They do. But they at the table with Shanita. I wouldn't even, if I was Tisha, I wouldn't even engage with that. Like
that's the dark skin one, right?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
I told you I didn't like that lady before.
You did.
He is.
You did.
Beat up.
I was just like, why are you going back and forth with Shanita? And why are you talking about it in confessional? You're obviously bothered. Right. Why are you bothered by Shanita? And why? I mean, Shanita not gonna like you. She's Melody's friend. Leave it alone.
Right.
it's not that I don't think she's a sweetheart. I think she needs to toughen up. Like, that's the problem. The problem is you let them play with you and you let them make you look stupid. Stop caring about what they think.
You know
Leave
what I'm thinking now?
with insecurities.
I'm thinking now that I'm picturing it. All the women that like Melanie or Melanie likes them, even her two single friends, which women are so petty. Why'd you say single? Like, God, y'all read into everything.
That was stupid too. That was.
But I noticed they're not as pretty or as attractive as the other ladies, and I'm thinking, cause she got the big lady. I don't know her name. God forgive me.
Shanita.
What's her name?
Shanita.
Shanita. And then you got the lady with the big teeth. I don't know her name either.
They are only there to be Melody's she said bodyguard. Melody, I didn't know Melody was gonna be her bodyguard. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny because she did look like a bodyguard there. Because she was just all in the business. And I'm just like, maybe I need to be a friend like that. Because I'll be like, who gives a like, girl, bye. I'm eating. The food is good. I'm about to go out on the balcony.
Like,
I would have no scenes though. That's why I wouldn't be good in
home. Because these are grateful people.
Who?
Shakita, that's her name?
Shanita.
Shanita. That's a tall one, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I need you to do it. They need to they try to stay on that show. They're like, we get to get some camera time if we have them.
I like them. I like them. And my thing is, like, they're grateful. They're glad to be there.
They're glad to be on the trip and on TV.
Thank you. But my thing is, all of y'all, don't take this thing for granted. It's a small room. You got to shit, like, relax.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I wouldn't even let a person know I was upset about it. That's what I'm saying. My thing is, you would never know I was upset. Either I would not be in that room in the morning because I would have went and booked my own room, or I would be sleeping like a baby knowing I was about to go out and enjoy the beach. I mean, I don't care. And secondly, like, I would not sit there and pout over. I wouldn't even engage in a conversation with her like that. I just have a lot of don't give a. I don't know. Maybe I have a bad attitude, but I just
the country, like, chill. Nothing should be that serious. Nothing.
But then she was like, now Shanita did used to be on Football Wives. Yes, she did. Sonny saying that her and Destiny were not friends. I'm seeing this storyline.
Be on there.
Yeah, she was. It was a one season show. But it was here in Atlanta. You know, she's very well known in Atlanta.
Oh, I do remember her face. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't even I would have been like Stormy, like, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you.
Yeah, like, come on, ladies.
I'm not. And it's okay, so Stormy continuing to double. I wish this, because you know she obviously wants to be on the show. She's hanging around Melody. She is there because Melody feels like Sonny has proved that the rest of the ladies are hypocrites, right? Cool. But Sonny needs to just acknowledge that her and Destiny, maybe she should acknowledge that she made Destiny think she was her friend. So, because we know that, I'm telling you guys, there's no way Destiny did not tell her about Moses. And with them going out of town one time, y'all know she told her about him. So she should just acknowledge it. Yeah, she told me about her dude. They broke up, and I got with him, and I thought he was attractive. He thought I was attractive. We both came from the same place, and it is what it is. Because to keep trying to say, well, we were not your friend. I was not your friend. I was your producer, and I was talking to you. It's stupid. Just say I made you think I was your friend. I'm a little trifling, but I wanted a man, and I may not have an opportunity to get another one like this, so I'm taking a chance and I'm going with it. Just say you're going with it.
Would that be something you recommend If you had that triangle with some friends that you knew, I know none of your friends. I'm just painting.
No, I mean, you never know what a person will do, but if you did it, then stand on what you did. If you did it, then you got to know that other women aren't going to mess with you because of that, and just stop. Just all this going, and then the fact that her and Moses, before they even got married, they were working on IVF. Ma'am, at this point, it sounds like y'all were doing IVF planning while him and Destiny was still dating.
Woo!
It's just stupid. It's just this show is dumb. This show is dumb. That is Christal's takeaway. Love and Marriage Huntsville is stupid. And Trish, again, I'm confused as because Melly tried to put Trish out there. Well, Trish, you got a problem with Sonny? No, Mel, you have a problem with Trish. Or you should.
That part.
You should. That's the biggest, to me, that's the biggest beef.
The timeline. Because it's got to come to a point where that get well, doesn't at this point they're divorced, right?
They're divorced, but they weren't divorced when
it happened.
When Trisha went over to Martell's house.
Carlos,
so that's the biggest beef.
Carlos is messy. He know what he's doing.
He has stirred up a heaping pot of toxicity. And I'm just saying these girls does anybody agree with me? Put a 1 in the chat. I'm not gonna do this over dinner with women. I just would, and again, I guess you have to engage in order to stay on the reality show. But I mean,
yeah, but
I don't care if you don't like me. I could give a damn.
But you
don't like me and I don't like you. Okay, I could be. And then she was like, "Well, can you be someplace with somebody you don't like?" Well, watch her, girl. You ain't gotta watch me. I ain't got nothing to say. You leave her alone. Just leave her alone. It's stupid.
It is.
Thank y'all. I was like, maybe I'm wrong because I would be like, girl, I don't give a damn. I just don't. I really don't. And when a person doesn't like you, why do you care what they're doing? Why do you care? Well, she did this on purpose. Girl, just so what? She does not like you. She doesn't respect your husband. She does not like you. Leave her alone.
Right. But y'all was happy when y'all got them plane tickets, though. The flight, you know.
I mean, the show, Melly didn't fly them out there. The show flew them out there. So it's not like she did that for them. This is all the show. And somebody said earlier that that Melody said that Carlos was a toxic leader, or it was some type of bad leadership. That has happened. That's something that she said recently based on something that has gone. I'm not exactly sure what she was talking about. But also, Melody has to realize Carlos is who he is. Carlos is who he is. He is a show creator that creates shows that do well on television. And those shows do well because they are messy. And he will use you to be a part of the mess. He will value you if you bring the mess. And if you don't, you'll probably get kicked off.
I'm not gonna lie, I like Melody on this episode.
I am so heavy on the don't give a damn, but that obviously is not good for TV. So I would not be on reality TV. Christal, do you notice Kimmy does not have a problem with Trish because Trish was the Maurice in her situation, hypocrite, but she does not like Sonny. You know what? Carlos is from Detroit as well, and so is Shanita. I know Shanita is from Detroit.
Can you fill me in? I'm lost.
Well, Carlos King he's from Detroit, and Shanita's from Detroit. So that makes sense that he would have her. But she said, I don't know people are saying that it seems like nobody except for Melody and Tisha got married to the person they were in a relationship with. It seems like everybody else was a side chick first. The rumor is that Kimmy was dealing with Maurice before he and his wife got divorced and they got together. Obviously, we know Nell and Chris, that's their situation. Trish is still married, literally.
Yes.
As we speak, still married. So she doesn't count. Stormy did not. Stormy and her husband don't have that past, but everybody else is kind of skeptical on this show. So I guess really they can't say a lot about Sonny, but the fact that Sonny is on this show is just, it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It is
Is it
absolutely
kind
ridiculous.
of their situation? That's why they don't like Melody.
That's what Melody said. Melody said maybe it triggered them.
Hey now.
Now, when Destiny shows up, and it's so interesting that Destiny's not there for this first conversation, and then when she comes, they're gonna have to fill her in, and then we're gonna see the the showdown between her and Sonny. I'm kind of over it. This is ridiculous. I kind of like when the guys are there too. With the ladies by themselves, it was too much of this and too much fake, acting like you're gonna fight. Nell wasn't gonna do nothing. Nell wasn't about to do nothing. Sit down, ma'am.
Now, fellas, I don't know.
Like Kimmy was acting like she was with it. Now, Kimmy is from Baltimore.
That says a lot.
Just wanted to put that out there. But remind Kimmy is usually cool, but she is from Baltimore. I do think Melody knew the assignment. She did exactly what she was supposed to do, and she did with a smile the whole time. Melody did not stop smiling the whole time.
I noticed that.
She smiled the entire time. She let her minions commence, and Shanita was like, I got it. And she ran. I mean, it just, but the only way that works is if you let her know that you're bothered. I would have been like, my room is amazing. The view is beautiful. I can't wait to get to the beach. And what?
Except for
so that. I don't think Nell was gonna do nothing to Tisha, or I don't think Tisha was gonna do nothing either. I also think that Tisha and Kimmy are cool, but Kimmy said that if she wasn't Tisha's sister-in-law, they never would hang out anyway. So it's like, y'all ain't really good allies, because we know that you don't really like her either. It just was ridiculous.
Monica, them Baltimore women, they don't play, boy. Like they'll jump you. Like them women from that area, they believe.
Kimmy was like, "What is? I don't need." Because why would Nell be talking like that at 60?
Maybe she had a couple drinks.
That's what somebody said. She drinks. She's a crazy drunk. But at 60, you ought to know your limits.
Now you know.
No, I don't know.
You 35 in the mind, but you not realizing your body's 60 until you get hit.
I know one thing. You ought to know to keep your mouth shut if you don't want to get hit in it. It is. I think it's giving kind of desperate to see. I just the guys make it more interesting. I'm really more interested in seeing Marceau and Martell go at it than the girls and Melody and Sonny and all that. It's just,
fellas, you notice how they didn't listen to men until it was time to do work. You noticed that, right?
What?
When they needed bags out the baggage claim and they wanted to lift them. That's the only time they mentioned the men. I'm just gonna put that out there.
That's where they were dancing with the guys, and of course they asked the guys to. Everybody goes on vacation and wants an island guy with the plentiful eggplant.
I wish my husband was here to dance with me. They said no. I wish my husband was here to pick up these bags out of baggage claim.
Whatever. Nell said there was a lot of good looking men there, and she was looking around.
And she was about to do nothing.
I don't know.
Not with none of the dudes they showed on there.
No, but I mean, we didn't see the guys they were talking about though. I ain't gonna say Nell ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna say that at all.
No,
she ain't gonna fight. She ain't gonna fight, but I don't know if she gonna do nothing with a guy. I ain't gonna say that.
I didn't know she was tall.
Yeah, she was talking when she first got there. She was like, "It's a lot of good looking men here."
Oh, tall, height. Melanie. She had a little height to her. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I just, it was just trifling and silly. And I'm glad that you guys made me feel better, because I was like, what is, I just.
Explains Kimmy's smart mouth. That explains it.
The Baltimore?
Yes, that explains the little slick mouth.
That explains the fact that out of all the women on the show, that's probably who I relate to the most, because she just really she's logical and she don't really be on that stupid stuff. That's why I was surprised to see her get upset tonight, because she usually just be like, But Tisha needs a big sister or something. I don't know. She needs a big sister. I'm serious. She needs a big sister, because I'll be like, girl, if you don't leave her alone. And and some other things that I won't say on here, but girl, bye. But to sit up there and be upset, well, who cares? And that's probably why Marceau does that to her. Like,
You
I
saw
want
that,
her, I
right?
want her to get a big sister. Yeah. I don't want her to get a big sister. We're not picking on Tisha. Y'all say 1 minute, well, you picking on Melody? Are you picking on? I ain't picking on Tisha. I like Tisha. I like Tisha a lot. I just don't like her to be pressed. That's how I am. If I like you, like my daughter, if my daughter was doing that, I'd be like, you better not never let nobody see you hurt. You hurt and offended over some chick. Who cares? Who cares what she say? You in a small room for a couple of days. You go home to your house. Shut up.
That's what I don't get. It just made me think about all the women I know that went on girl trips and then come back. Somebody ain't speaking to somebody every time.
I only had that happen one time on a girls trip, but it was just the two of us. And she left with a guy. We went out together and she left with a guy. And I had to I went back by myself. We're in a city where we don't know anybody.
Now,
So I'm like, this is dangerous. And then she brought the guy to the room. I got my bonnet on. I'm in bed trying to get some sleep, and she's giggling with this stranger that she just met. I was like, I can't go out of town with her no more. So that was it. We didn't get into a fight. I did tell her she needed to get him out of our room, but I don't.
Now, I've never seen it happen with two. I've seen it happen with three or more. I've never seen it happen with two women.
But I'm not going out of town with girls that are fussing over stupid stuff. I am not. I'm not even going to be friends with y'all because I'm like, you got husbands and children and businesses. Where do we have time to fight about the size of the room? And most importantly, when your credit card is in your hand, go slide it someplace else.
Guess it's the principle, but I don't see it.
It's not the principle. She does not like you. There's no principle. You cannot expect something from somebody that you know does not like you.
Yeah, she told the story. She's like, I did this because, and she had a big smile on her face.
And then how is Nell was like, I looked out for you when on my trip, and I can't believe that you wouldn't look out for me. And Melody was like, yes, and that was because of Martell. But the fact that Nell brought that up, and then she was like, well, see, everybody else is upset, but I only care about me. Be like, lady, go sit down.
That room in Houston they had nothing on that room down there.
Yeah, I was like, she's talking about Houston. Y'all talking about going from Alabama to Houston versus going from Alabama to the Virgin Islands.
Thank you.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. But I'm saying, I'm sure it was done on purpose because every trip, it's not coincidental that every time a group of women on reality TV go out of town, they always get upset about who gets good rooms. It happened. It's like the same exact storyline. Housewives New York, Housewives Atlanta. Every time.
If you ain't getting nothing in the room, you definitely don't need no good room. Listen, all the people getting some get a good room. All you other people go for what you.
Take your card and swipe it on your own room. Do your scene and leave. That's the best thing you can do is be unbothered. And Tisha is a Libra. Libras know how to. I will look straight through you like I don't even know who the hell you are, and not care. I just don't understand. I'm befuddled. But anyway, that's my takeaway. Is what is wrong with all these women? I don't understand it.
She act like you put her on a pull-out bed or something, or air mattress.
First of all, you can't put me nowhere because I'm grown. I got my own money. I can do what I want. You can't put me nowhere. So if I don't like it, I just will smile and keep it moving, eat my dinner, and then go get my own room. You're not gonna play me on camera and have me sitting here looking like I care. I'm bothered. Well, just this room is not acceptable. This room is not big enough, and I just need a bigger. Where you gonna go? It's just they got like a villa. Where you gonna go?
That's what I'm saying.
And who would she put there instead? She does not like you. They irritated me because I feel like the people on Family Empire were dealing with real ish. And this was so unserious and stupid
That
that
part.
it really irritated me. And I,
That part.
it just was silly. But and like I said, Kimmy is usually the most level-headed. I'm surprised she got upset. Everybody was big mad over a room in the Caribbean, but and I'm sure they've seen that happen on other reality shows. I'm sure they
be like, yeah, man, she probably should have got you a. Maybe the producers had a part of it.
maybe they said go in there and tell them that you don't like this room.
Yeah.
I've been like, no. At this point, they've been on the show long enough to they don't have to do what the producers tell them to do.
Okay.
So I don't know. But anyway, I want them to hurry up and get back. I don't even care to see the situation with Destiny and Sunny. I'm over that. I don't care. There's nothing that can be said. I really hope that Destiny is not dating Nell's son. I really hope that's not the case.
That's crazy.
That is going to be wild, especially because of Nell's dysfunctional relationship with all the kids. Unless this is a son that we haven't been introduced to, I hope that I hope and pray it's not true. I'm saying my prayer. Sorrow's prayers.
They're saying they're over it too. A lot of people in the chat saying they're over it.
Yeah, we just I want to see I only want to see Marcel and Martell.
Yeah.
Because I think that Nene would have flipped out about the room. She did before. It's been several situations on Real Housewives of Atlanta where they did the same song and dance over them damn rooms. Why does Marcel stay with Tisha? I think he needs someone who challenges him. No, I think he stayed with Tisha because he doesn't want someone.
Right. I'm exactly what I was about to say.
But I also think that he stays with Tisha because Marcel is someone that cares about, I think he loves her and I think they care about keeping their family together. So I don't think, the look of it. So I don't think we should tell people that they should get divorced. I think if people want to stay together, they should. Black marriage matters. But I can't believe Christal wants to see Martell. I want to see Martell and Marceau go back and forth. That's more exciting than this. This is stupid.
Yeah. We just want to see their
interaction. I'm not saying I want to support Martell.
Right.
I'm saying I want to see him and Marceau because what I do not want to see is I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see this no more over no stupid rules.
Hey, when I worked with all the women, that's how I felt. I was like, I am never doing this again.
I understand why I don't have girlfriends that act like that at all.
It's tough.
But I also I wonder if it's like a difference in the location of where you're from or something. I don't know because I don't.
Well, if you grew up I don't know. That's a great question. That might be a point. That might be a point.
I went, you know what? The last girl, I went on a girls trip with four women. And we went to the Kentucky Derby a couple years ago. Now, the hotel, I had picked the hotel. This is before COVID. This is before Adrian. Because Adrian's very good at picking hotels and Airbnb, so I let him pick it. But I don't have friends that are like that. I'm not saying I don't have any wild friends, but I don't have any petty friends. So I had picked the hotel. We had all paid on it. We got there, and first of all, we were so tired from the drive because we drove and we were all tired. We left like in the middle of the night. So we got a hotel until our hotel room was ready. All of us just piled in a one bedroom with 2 beds to get a couple hours sleep until our hotel room was ready. And then it was it did not look as good as it did online, right? And we all just made it work because we all wanted to go. We all had our little hats and stuff for the Derby. And I cannot imagine being with women that are that miserable. I really just cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine being with women that are that. I don't like sharing bathrooms. I'll be honest. I now I have one of my girlfriends. She's big on like wanting to, like, if we go someplace, she wants us to stay in the same room together and stay up and watch movies and stuff. I used to like that when I was younger, but now at this age, I just want to get in my room and go to sleep. Like I like peace. I like to have the whole bed to myself when I get a bed. So I don't want to go like when you're young, you go and you guys share in a bed and all that. I don't want to do that now at this age. So she and I would go out of town a lot for work, and she and she always wanted us to share a room. And finally, I was like, I'm not sharing the room no more. I want to go to bed. I'll come to your room. We'll hang out, watch a movie. I'm going back to my room. I want to put the thermostat on what I wanted on. You want the thermostat on what you wanted on. I want my own situation. I'm not doing that. But if I have to, I can. Like for the Kentucky Derby, we did it because we got our rooms late. Everything is sold out in Kentucky when you go. And we just wanted to go. We got there. It wasn't great. There was nobody complaining. We were all like, well, we got to thug it out. And it was fun.
Everybody knows what it is, especially in the planning process. Nobody should be tripping. In this one, I guess they felt off guard and they didn't know, and they come down here, and in their mind they were thinking something else. But you know this lady don't like you.
That's what I'm saying. If you know she don't like you, you know she gonna give you the messed up room. So stop being a typical person. Like, you know. Well, this pretty amazing. What if you shared your room with a woman and her hygiene isn't that good? I mean, I don't think I'd be going out of town with anybody that I didn't trust the way they carried themselves. But I have gone out with, with women that make different choices than I do, right? So you may want to stay out all night with a guy. After that one situation, I learned, don't bring a guy to the room. Let's get that straight. No guys coming to the room, because I don't know if that person is a serial killer and you want to take a chance on them killing you, by all means. I don't want them to kill me. So you just keep the strangers out of the room.
Woo.
I don't, that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens next week. African Azazon says you knew she don't like you and you still decided to bring somebody. I actually think she was smart for bringing somebody, because if you know they don't like you, you may need some backup. And Kimmy don't really like her either. So, she probably needed backup. She needed Destiny, because Kimmy don't really like her like that. Kimmy tolerates her because they're sister-in-law.
Yeah. You share the room with the woman. You go to the bathroom behind her.
Yes.
You smell something that's not quite right. It's a little pungent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's the face cloth.
What?
The face cloth. It's folded up. They used it. It's a little damp. They got it on top of the towel. They left it on the counter.
Mm.
You smell it's musty. The face cloth.
Okay.
I've had that situation before. That's why I'm asking.
With a woman?
Oh, yeah.
A musty face cloth lying out?
I'm like, what the? And the thing is, I have 2 bathrooms. So I would let the lady use that room. I'll go in my guest bathroom. But in the middle of the night, I'm not going to the guest bathroom. I'm going to the one in my room. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's when I saw it. That's when I smelled it.
That's wild.
I was like, I'm behind trash can up, and I looked down.
Thank you, Karen, for that super chat.
Because I wanted to, I'm sniffing it. It's not drawers. It's a face cloth.
Well, I mean, if you smell it, you're gonna wonder what it is. I got one that's nastier than that, but it wasn't somebody I was hanging out with. I've had a makeup artist doing my makeup, right?
Yes.
And her fingers, it's disgusting. It's horrible. And so her fingers smell like they have been in her underwear.
Woo!
And I was just like, and I didn't say nothing, because I was like, first you're like, is that what I'm smelling? And it was. So then I was like, okay, I just, I'm hoping this young lady had a bad day. And I just, I wanted to, like, I wanted to like wipe she was doing me right before I had to go on camera. So she came back and it was horrible. She came back another day and it smelled like that again, right? So I was like, I'm not gonna hire the lady anymore. So then another friend of mine, she and I were talking and she said, uh I think I had to do something. I need a makeup artist again. And she suggested the girl. And I was like, nah, nah, nah. And she said, why? She was like, you know, she does your makeup so good. And I said, yeah. And I said, you know what? The crazy thing is, I said, I hate to say this. And I told her, I said, her fingers smell like, you know, her sweet spot, right? So the lady said, my friend was like, Christal, are you serious? And I said, yeah. She said, this other lady told me the same thing. And I was like, so she just, maybe we need to tell this lady that you're running around here doing people's makeup and you know, with a sponge, and we smell that on your fingers. Like it was numerous people that felt the same way. It was crazy.
Here's the big problem with that. There's a woman in New Jersey that went to New York City. You can see the story. I saw it on TikTok. That went to New York City to get her face done. And long story short, she wound up catching herpes in the eye.
Oh my God. That's why I learned to do my own makeup.
So
I can there's a couple people that I know I can call if I need to get it done, like if I'm doing TV or something. But for the most part, I feel like I learn to do my own makeup because I don't really, first of all, most people don't really like make you look um oh
hands, man.
yeah.
They don't put the gloves on?
No, they don't put makeup on. They don't put gloves on.
Because all of a sudden, these barbers charge all this money. All of a sudden, they got a ring light and gloves and want to charge you $30 extra. I heard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So anyway, oh man, Miss Pretty Amazing. Yes, that is true too. I've had a girl doing your hair, and when you're sitting in a chair, your face is about level with that area, and I just be like,
hey, I told you about that. No, I didn't tell you. It sat on the couch, and guess the cushion, the air from the cushion, and I smelled
a whoosh, a whoosh.
Yes, I was standing up, and they plopped down, and then man, that was the last time. I was like, never. I'm cool, and to train myself from not dealing with them, I was like, I just think of that, and I'd be like, nah, I'm good.
How did you have to train? Why did you have to train yourself?
Because they did a little trick, and I liked the trick, but I couldn't do it because.
Was it a bad day?
They had a couple bad days. Oh. I know it was but I don't know. I thought it was the first time. I thought it was a bad day because I was like, maybe I caught them at a bad time. So I don't know. But no, when I remember they sat down and the cushion and it came up, and I'm standing up, and I was like, yo, really?
I don't understand that because I feel like you want to be.
I eat it. Nasty ass. No. She did something to me. I ain't do nothing to her.
But I'm them fingers with that makeup artist. I was like, I thought I was the only person that had experienced that. And the girl was like, yo, somebody else told me that. And then she called the chick and she was like, yeah, that people just know that she just.
What's she doing? Going around scratching?
I don't know. I don't know what she's doing, but I know I would never, ever, 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 ever deal with that lady ever again, nor recommend her. But I feel like
they be saying these women be knowing
I be feeling like I should have told her or something, because people need to know that she needs to know that that's the example she has established.
Write her a note.
I ain't telling her nothing. I just moved on. I was like, I need to learn how to do my own makeup because, ooh. But in any case,
that's a fact.
Good show.
Yes.
Have you ever did oral with bad odor from a fine girl? That is, y'all, that is not what we are talking about on the show tonight.
No, I haven't.
Just gonna take the show on a different trajectory after dark. It is midnight. We need to get off here, but yeah, Family Empire, very, very touching show. Love and Marriage Huntsville, absolute foolishness.
Family Empire, I'm interested in seeing how this finale is going to, because I mean, we got an idea, but they got to lead you into the next season. So it's got to be something more than just not the house. I mean, not the property. It's got to be something.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, the people that have watched this show are really locked in. And Rhonda said, okay, heads in beds. That is Gun Boss's words. You guys, you know what I was going to do? I was going to go to the spa because there's a 24-hour spa here. So I was thinking I was going to go to the spa after I finished tonight. But now I'm tired.
Is that one in Gwinnett?
Mm-hmm. It's not too far from me, but I'm tired now.
I've heard about that one now.
Yeah, but they do a good body scrub.
They ain't all they do.
It ain't. But I just want the body scrub. But no, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, I think the people that are locked in with Family Empire are locked in. Now, guys, we're gonna do these. Obviously, they're doing the finales. Love and Marriage Huntsville is going to do their last show Saturday and then take a break, and then they'll come back. They're coming back in October, so they're just gonna take a couple of weeks off. But we are gonna start with Love and Marriage Detroit. So that's why I did the interview with Brandon and Christina, and it is true. Whoever said it earlier, Brandon does look a lot like Adrian. That's crazy. Check out that interview and make sure that you tune in this coming week to the premiere of the second season of Love and Marriage Detroit, because we will be doing recaps on that as well. Since these two are about to take a break, we just switch it out. Yes, sir.
Also, make sure y'all watch. What is the correct name of the show? Your show you did yesterday.
Oh, Pop Culture Power. We had fun.
Check out that as well. Is that going to be continuously on Thursdays?
I'm gonna do that on Monday. It's gonna be on Mondays. Yeah, it's gonna be on Mondays like it was before I took a break. And Mondays at 8:00. Mondays at 8:00. Pop Culture Power.
And all the stuff that you see on social media and the pop culture stuff that go on, Christal will be talking about that and much more, from everything, I guess, from the YSL trials to the Judge Mathis to whatever's going on in pop culture. Check Christal out.
It's always based on an article, but I will tell you guys, please tune in on Wednesday, because I have some. First of all, we have one of our viewers has sent in her dating profile, and Mo and I are going to go through the dating profile, read what she has, and we're going to let you guys know what we think, how to make it better. So basically, it's going to be like a little mini workshop for those of you that are doing online dating. And also, I have some social media bad dates. It appears like we didn't have any men that were coming on telling us they had dating disasters, but I have some, thanks to one of our viewers that sent me some from social media. And so what I've done is collect some, and we're going to talk about those on Wednesday. And we also have a guest joining us as well. So make sure that you tune. Wednesday's going to be a good show. I'm excited about doing the online dating profile. And if anybody else has profiles that want to send you, it's not too late. You can send it in to us before Wednesday. DM either myself or Mo, and we'll go over it on the show. Yes.
Do the pictures too, because
no, not the pictures. They may not want. They might want to be anonymous.
No. Well, I guess, and the only reason I was saying that is because I've seen people and everything else was right, but I was like, why would you lead with that picture? I wouldn't even see the rest of the pictures if it
Well,
was.
I think that we need to. I'll tell you what. For you, you pull a couple of pictures and send them to me that you think would be great pictures. The type of pictures that women should be posting on their social media. Let's give people some examples.
You know what? I like that even better.
Yeah, that way nobody feels we don't have to tell
Yeah,
somebody
no,
the picture is bad.
anybody out, but Crystal made a good point, and I like that. Like I said, we're all here helping each other.
Yeah. So send me some pictures of ladies that you think the pictures that you think you want to see, and I'll pull some pictures of guys that we want to see from on guys' profiles. And also, guys, I have an interview with Tyrese that's dropping this week. His new movie 1992 comes out this week. My interview with Tyrese is going to air Monday at 7, and then it will go Pop Culture Power will start right after that. So make sure that you turn Tyrese and the interview. Tyrese is in full garb of 1978. He is dressed like he's in the 70s. Is quite interesting. But that is the conversation, the celebrity conversation I'm dropping on Monday. Monday at 7. Tyrese talks about his new movie, and then Pop Culture Power at 8.
There it is.
All right.
There it is.
All right. So we're gonna see you guys back at child. Just tune in for the interview. And I will say this: his interview was not great because his publicist cut some of the stuff that he said because he just. But anyway, yes, tune in for the Tyrese interview.
Gotcha.
And then we'll talk about that on Pop Culture Power. I'll talk about what I think about the interview with Tyrese on Pop Culture Power. So, all right, see you guys back here on Monday. And then on Wednesday, remember, send us your dating profiles. Send us your dating profiles so we can give you an overview. And we're not going to say the name, but we will read the description and everything. And we're going to do that. It's going to be a lot of fun on Wednesday. We have a special guest. So tune in. All right. We love y'all. Have a great weekend. Remember to
the holiday. Be safe, y'all. This holiday.
Yeah, be safe. Enjoy yourself. Love on somebody. I saw somebody in here earlier, so they need to make up with one of their family members. Life is short, as you saw earlier. Real stuff, real shit matters. So make sure that you're loving on the people you need to be loving on. And we will see you on Wednesday. I'll see you on Monday. We'll see you on Wednesday. All right, y'all.
All right, y'all.